All right, today we're going to try to knock out this 550 and hopefully have it ready to go back to its owner. So we're going to get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and in the last installment we got this thing running again, and now we're going to make it more better. We're going to give it a full tune-up, points, plugs, condenser, coil, and hopefully it will be beautifully running for many long years after. So that's what we're going to get started on now. I don't know why the bovines are mooing in the background. Probably because they hear my voice and they feel like they're not getting enough attention. So I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's very compact here, as you might have noticed. 1, 2, 4, 3. So 1 is back that way. It should hold its shape, but just in case, I want to make sure I make a mental note of that. Also, it would be handy to have a screwdriver, which I probably don't have handy for some reason, which is odd because I could have swore that I had one over here, although it might have vibrated to the ground. That kind of stuff happens. There it is. I don't get those cows. I don't know why they're acting so goofy. 1, 2, 4, 3, 4. All right. Come on out of there. Oh, coil wire. Coil wire, come on. Yep. Okay. Also, but not limited to, I decided that we are going to do something different with this fuel line situation, because this hard hydraulic hose line ain't doing it for me, friends. And what I'd like to do, it's probably not going to let me do because of stuff and things. I'd really like to be able to... Oh, it is loose. Okay. So, what I would like to do then is get that out of there. Is that... No, of course not. It's going to be the one that I don't have sitting here handy probably, which is 1/2 inch. It's always the way. But I want to get that out of there and then turn it a little. Okay, let's get this out of the way. I applaud his effort, but I think he caused himself more headache because he had this made and then he cut it in 2 and put a filter in it. I kind of vaguely remember when he was having issues with that, because the first time I worked on this tractor, it did not have this set up on it. So we're just gonna have to make it better. All right, now we need to go more yet, and I bet we're not gonna have what I want. What I want to do is I would like to... They didn't have the fittings that I want. I wanted a combination of... Oh, what do you want to say? How do you want to say it? I wanted straight 1/8 inch pipe thread to brake line fittings, and they didn't have any. So I hope I have some on hand if that's the way it works out. I was going to put a 90 in there, but that may not work out either. All right, friends, it's many hours later because I got called away to go work on that 1650 again that we worked on way back when. And I don't know, I'll go into that more in other videos, but I don't know if you recall back in the time when I worked on it, I said something like the distributor was junk and I thought we should probably just replace it with something else. Well, guess what I had to do today? It absolutely would not run. And so what I had to do was I had to go, I went down and tried to get it started, and the points were just trashed again. So I messed with them, couldn't get them to go. And those Mallory points just aren't in existence around here locally. You have to send away and get them. So I told him, I said, I'm not a fan of these distributors. And I said, what would you think about me putting on a new distributor that takes old style points and stuff? And he said, whatever it takes to get it to run. So I came home and pulled one off of one of mine and went back and made it happen. So I'll explain that more in the video, because now I gotta get parts and fix my 1650, because it's sitting out there with no good distributor in it. I'm making sure that this runs good, if you're wondering what I'm doing while I'm talking to you. It occurred to me that before we mess with this sediment bowl, it occurred to me that perhaps I ought make sure that it's not plugged up with trash, because I think it probably had that issue at some point, because he's called numerous times complaining about how stuff, you know, the tractor wouldn't run and this and that and the other. And then he made that fuel line thing that you saw that we took off, because it's just not, it's not going to do what he wants. It was all cobbled up out here and what have you. And the way I'm going to do it is, I guess I'm going to have it leak is what I'm going to do, because that's my luck, you know, right there. Now it's starting leaking. So I'll have to address that real quick, but I'm going to turn this more and then just shoot the steel line straight across. And the added benefit for him is that, why, then there's going to be, the shutoff will be right out in the open where it's easy to get to, see? Let's see if that's enough to stop the sadness. And see, I figured why I'm doing this now is it would be better to do this now with all this old stuff on here than to put it on and leak fuel all over like a brand new coil and that kind of thing. So I need to turn this a little more and get it where it's pointed differently, as you may be able to see. Also, but not limited to, I was just filming another video, so I'm going to probably have to go get another battery, because this camera battery has been going all day for me, and it's down to like 15% or less. Oh, 11%, it just changed. I guess we're skipping numbers now. Okay, well, yeah. 19 millimeter is usually what it takes, so that's what I grabbed here, the 19 millimeter adjustable, right? See how that's gonna, it's not gonna let me do what I want to do. It's gonna crap out right before. That's always the kind that I like, when it just almost will go but not quite. See, that's still not gonna do what I want. I bet I'm not gonna get it all the way. And again, yes, it would be easier without. That's what I want. It would be easier if it didn't have the freaking loader on it. But such is the lot of life that I have. I can't help it. That's just how we are. Now, we have a very limited amount of room before we would start to interfere with our battery or what have you, so we have to use our wits about us. Luckily, I found that I had one fitting that I needed here, straight fitting. I don't know what we're going to get into on the carburetor side, but I'm really more concerned about this loop because this was the most cobbled up one and it's not going to go for us. So I'm going to concentrate on that, and then I can always get it running and order whatever I need or whatever. I kind of tentatively promised him that I'd have this done by the weekend maybe. So that's what we're going to hope for. Is it going to pan out? I don't know. Not if I keep getting called away every time I start on it. Then it's not. So, yeah. I also have lots of farm work that I should be doing, you know? Like somebody brought me more hay, and I really should be doing that, you know, putting those bales out of the way. But I guess we'll just leave those in the driveway for now and not worry about that too much. I kind of moved some stuff around last night, some of the stuff all summer that we needed to clean up, and it's just been sitting there growed up in the weeds, like the 1800A chassis. I got that out there in its forever domain. That's not gonna work either. So that made us some room. We can stack some more bales over here, and that's what we're gonna have to do. So I did the right thing, and of course had them unload the bales way far away from there so that I have to drive. Also, another fun thing, I'm rambling here telling you all of my problems in life, but my loader tractor 1650 has developed a strange new quirk where sometimes when you let off the clutch, nothing happens. And I think what's happening is I adjusted the free travel the other day because it was time to adjust it. And I'm thinking that the pressure plate must be messed up. And it doesn't release all the time. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but we're gonna have to figure that out at some point. This is not working. So, time to figure out a new solution. 3/8, 7/16, ½ inch, 9/16. You know what's a fun thing? I don't have the right size socket. No, 9/16, 5/8. Okay, yeah, I do. I'm also, I think, getting eaten up by mosquitoes because something is going on here. So we might have to wait on this project until tomorrow. There's a mosquito right there on that sediment bowl. So, as much as I enjoy getting chewed up, I think that I might switch gears and start moving those bales, and we'll come back to this project. All right. Yeah, we're gonna hope for the best there. So that's facing out. We got this brake line we need to cut to length and then bend. And then we can get that wrapped in there nice and guten tight, you see. I might even consider going, well, I guess I won't consider that. All right, that is more user-friendly, where a guy can get in and shut that on and off. And if we're gonna use his inline filter, we're gonna put it on the other side of the tractor where we can get to it. And we'll sort that out. But plugs, points, condenser, the whole shebang is all getting done. Coil, I just have to get another battery and make this happen. And like I said, I might go do something else right now real quick and then switch back to that after a while, because I'm right in the direct sunlight and I'm getting chewed up. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking my plan is. But we got all the stuff here, so it shouldn't take us too long to make this happen. And then we should be good to go. We also have to finish bolting the gas tank down. We never got that all the way done. But I wanted to get this all worked up first. And then we can tighten the bolts. They're in the holes, they're just not tightened up. All right, we're back at this project. No thanks to everybody calling, but I just got that fuel line finished. I didn't film that. That was, I wouldn't say a struggle, but on a 550, it's a struggle because there's not a lot of room to tuck it in there. And since he wants an inline filter, that's about the best way I could think of to do it. So I've been around a line to fit in there, and then it's a very precise amount of of hose to get it where it's not on top of that solenoid. And I didn't have exactly the fitting I wanted there to go in the carburetor, but I got one that'll work. So it's got a short piece of tube in it, then rubber line, filter, rubber line, metal tube. And I think that will be better in the long run than this, because this is not very, I don't know. I don't like rubber fuel lines anyway. And then you figure that this is actually a hydraulic hose. It doesn't really crimp good with a hose clamp. So you always got fuel dripping, you know, at least he did. So this is much better. The fuel's on right now and it's not leaking a drop. So that's gonna go where we need that to go. Now we're going to pick up with where we were back when I started all this, you know. The original thing we were doing, which is giving it a tune-up, you know, plugs, points, condenser, that whole shebang. So we're gonna start with plugs. And again, this is not a very, what I want to say, this isn't a very easy thing to do because it's so crammed in there. You just don't have room. And it'll probably take some combination of extensions and whatever to get in there, because see, like, I guess I could do this. So you got that blow-by tube that's working against you, and there we go. And some people probably say to themselves, I'm going to turn the fuel off while I'm thinking about it, but they probably say, why don't you use a spark plug socket with that rubber? Well, I am more likely to crack the spark plug with a spark plug socket than if I just use a regular one and watch what I'm doing. That rubber grips that porcelain tight, and I've found that it, like, I'll kink the ratchet too much and not realize it or something, and end up totally self-destructing the porcelain. So I would just rather use a regular old deep well socket. What's the health of our engine? That plug doesn't look too awfully bad. It is a little bit, I don't know if you, would that be a little bit lean the way that it looks? I'm not good at all that, but it's clean anyway. It's been in there a while though, so definitely worth, just like the points and all that, it's definitely time, and it's worth doing. So we're going to replace it with my favorite flavor, the Autolite 386. We're going to be careful as we put this in, so as not to smash the tip flat, you know, because that could get you. It's hard to tell if I'm making progress or not sometimes, you know. Now it's going to get progressively more difficult because of all the other stuff that's hanging in our way. But what I'll do is, after this one, I'll switch to having the handle backwards, maybe? It just, I know they had to cram in a lot of features. I know that's the reason why, but it's just no fun. it's not, even though this is essentially the same motor as a 660 or whatever, Super 66, it's a lot more difficult just because of the way that it's compacted in there. I'm trying to figure out why that's turning so tight. I wonder if my impact socket is hitting the sides in some way and it's making it not. No, it actually is kind of stiff. I can't do it by hand there. I don't like that. Come on out of there. I know you've been in there for years and years and years, but today's the day, friend. Come on. So close. And yet so far. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. When I worked on it last time, basically all I did was, or the last time it was here, it was mainly for wheels. And then it might have been, I don't know if it was that time or another time when I worked on the steering. But both of those times, the tractor ran great. So it wasn't, you can just take a look at that if that means something to you. I never had a lick of trouble with it running. And then at one time, if I'm remembering that correctly, he called me once and he said he had all kind of trouble getting it to run. And that's when he put on that other fuel line setup and tried to put in an extra deal. And I don't know, he was having a lot of issues with it. So I don't know what the real verdict is on that. I never had trouble with it. But I also don't know what or when anything of this was serviced, is what I'm getting at, I guess, with the moral of my story there. I would say that the last time it was serviced was by the dealer before they closed many years ago. That would have been in the 90s when they closed. So I guess it could have been in the early 2000s. I can't remember. They switched from Oliver to New Holland, like Ford New Holland for a long time. And then they finally quit altogether. They were basically bought by another Ford New Holland dealer and just operated as like a branch of that. And then they sent all of the Oliver parts to the dealer down in Borden, Wright Brothers. So we started dealing with them for Oliver parts. And that was a sad day, friends. Not because I really liked Otis and I didn't mind that going down there, but the sad part was going into the co-op, our dealer, to get stuff. And those days were over, and that was sad. It was, you know, your local people and all that. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't matter to anybody, but I did really like Otis. He and I became good friends down there at Wright Brothers. If you never met him, you missed out, because he was a good old guy. He knew all the part numbers in his head, and it was something else. Just okay. One more. How bad is this gonna be? That might be the easiest one. Probably because that valve cover was leaking on that one the whole time. That's probably why. Still tight. Yeah, the front of that valve cover was leaking pretty bad. There's that one. I'd say they were all about equal, except for that one that we, on the cylinder that wasn't firing. it was good for what it was, but you know, we had to clean it a bunch to get it to that point. And it's never really run much since. So I think we have an evenly wore out motor is what I'm saying. I don't think that there's any one hole that's worse than another. Come on. Come on, baby doll. Oh. I don't know how to get my hand in there to get that. I guess I could use a long extension and get it way out here. Elbow torque wrench popped, so that's probably good. All right, new plugs installed. Now, dealer's choice. I would say the next most difficult thing to do that we're gonna cry and struggle about is gonna be this coil. So I would say that that's where we're headed next. We got to pop this out because it's gonna be, I have never had one where I could just magically get it without taking the bracket out and doing that, because for whatever reason the new coils and the old coils, they don't play nice together. They're not the same size physically or something. This one, let me turn you so you can appreciate that. That hose is right in your way, but guess what? They're right in my way too. And that's what's gonna make this difficult, is that I've got two loader hoses right in the way. And I've got the main loader frame that's bolted to the tractor right in my way, so it's not like taking the loader off would help me with that. I'd have to take it totally off to be able to accomplish anything. I hear the donkey trumpeting. He's echoing my sentiment exactly. We're gonna get this out of there though, somehow. We should probably get the wires off, but maybe we can, once we get it dropped down, maybe we can turn it or we can actually see what we're doing. Okay, now I gotta get this back one. Again, working around loader hose, and it looks like on this one, we're gonna also be working around the battery ground clamp or whatever that he put there. So, yay! Now, will that pivot? Yes, that's what I want. Okay, what do we got now? We got her loose. We've certainly struggled. What's that? Oh, that's the wire clamp guide that goes through that bolt too. I thought there was something else on there. Now we got to get it turned where we can actually see the, yeah, see, that's going to be what hoses us there. I don't like the upside down coil. I don't know why they like to do that, but I'm not a fan of that myself. I'm sure that it's fine, but it just seems like a lot of the coils don't like that anymore, being upside down. Can we get this loose? Let's get the biggest ratchet we have. Oh, that ain't right. Come on out of there. Is that actually coming loose or is it spinning on there? I think it's spinning on there. So it must be smaller than that. Is it that one? See, now that one's 2. This should not be metric. I'm gonna have to use a metric. That's a crock of baloney. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I have to use a 9mm. Sometimes the 9mm makes your problems go away. And the fun thing is, the new coil, it'll be a different size. They don't make nothing the same anymore. And then you're gonna say, why are you even replacing this coil? Tractor ran. Well, I suspect that it's probably going bad and it's burning up the points. Like the internal resistor is no more. Or not working correctly. Yeah, I could test it or whatever, but it's 50 years old. What do you want from parts, friends? It's time. It's time to put it all on new so I know that I've done it. And then I can come back and warranty it 3 times because the new stuff isn't as good as the old. Good grief. What are the chances? I'm just thinking out loud here. I might be able to get that up there. But I gotta drop what I'm doing now and go do something else because I hear somebody driving in. So once again, Ross can't finish what he's doing. Where were we? I lost track of where you were. I don't know. But you don't need to see it all. You know how it goes. I'm down to distributor here. Work, points, condenser, that sort of thing. Already got the screws out. Just gotta get the physical points out. Probably gonna struggle, because why wouldn't we? You know? Come up out of there. Come up out of there, you. There. I don't know about these things. You can see that they're very burnt. So I would say that is probably why it died the other day when we went. And the only thing to my notion of why that would be doing that is that the resistor in the coil went bad. So that's why I did what I did. Really, there's a lot of meat left on them. But it's not worth the struggle, friends. I mean, we might as well put in the new stuff because it's earned it. It's been a while. So we gotta get our magic bag of tricks out here. I hope I got all the right stuff because I did this from memory. But your points in these Delco distributors should be a CS63A. Oh, well, it looks to me like they've started cutting corners. I don't like that. I'll explain in a minute what I mean. I wonder if that's just a fluke or if Napa's decided that they don't care about the old ways. But what I'm getting at is, if I show them to you, this looks like the cheap line points. Got to get them to where I can hold. Yeah, see this? The way this is made, that plastic isolator piece, as it is. This is more of like the normal heavy duty, what I would expect to see from the blue box line. And that's not what I got. So I guess we're going, I guess they've decided they just don't care about us anymore. And they would rather go as cheap as possible. Which that doesn't surprise me at all. One thing I don't like about this cheapo line is the spring that I gotta self-build. I don't know how to describe that to you, but I'm really not having a good time. That's really not gonna work good. That is supposed to hook behind there. Well, friends, I'm not happy with these points. I am not happy with them at all. I can't hardly reach because of the loader frame again. But normally, this goes like back behind here. Oh, what have we gotten into, points? This just is not made very good to what I'm used to. I don't really know how I'm gonna fix it either. Well, I am not at all happy with what I got here. What I got here is a load of crap. And I'm thinking about taking them back and saying you can keep your garbage if that's what you want. Because that's not what I ordered. That's specifically why I don't get the yellow box line, because they're garbage. So now, what do? Well, I got a set of points in the truck. I think they're still in the truck that I took along in case. So I guess I'll get those, because it's obvious that hopefully that was a fluke, and hopefully they're not going to just make them that way from now on, because I don't like those. Those are not my thing. All right, again, distractions. This whole project has been one constant distraction. I got some points I think will work. I got this piece that needs to be put on there. Maybe. Where is that thing? There it is. Then we got to put the rotor on. That should be good there. It'll be fine. I know what's going on. That wire from that condenser is on there, causing some struggles. This will go like this. And see, this one's still got the little carbon button in it. So this one should run a lot better. I do need to pay attention though. Let's looky here just to remember. The notch is over there, so that's good. That'll tell me what I need to know. Notch is there. Let's put this. Oh, let's struggle. Let's struggle for no reason. Okay, sure. Is that gonna play nice? All right. Okay. Now we're for everybody's favorite fun part that takes forever, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna have to leave again and go on my bus route, so I won't even get that done because of the constant distractions all morning long. What fun, friends. I like it when I get to do the same thing over and over and over again. All right. Alright. Now if we look at our old one, which I can't even show you because crowded. If we look at our old one, it was on there like this. So, that was the coil. Number one is the one on that side of the latch. So that's what we're gonna go by. So that means this one needs to have enough cord to go in there. As such, I'll try to keep you in frame, but there's no guarantees at this point. Oh, I need to slide that boot down a little bit more. If we can't get it to slide, we're gonna have to give it the old hock tua. Get that to slip on there. But for whatever reason, I like these cheapo ones for crimping this on here, because they have the right stuff. I mean, it crimps it exactly right. Oh, I really need to be where you are, but okay. Or not. Or not. Alright, there's one. So the next one we could do, let's do number 3, because it goes in the back here. It's gonna go right in there as such. And we're just gonna go down the line. It's gonna be 1, 2, 4, 3 as it goes around. You don't need to watch. You watched me make wires before. All right, we got several things that we need to button up on it, but I gotta hear it run. I can't put more back together without knowing that what we did so far has improved it and not hurt it. It should have improved it, but as you may recall, the last time we ran it, it died. And the thing about it is, dead batteries, they don't get any less dead. You know how that goes. So at any rate, the jump box is still sitting here, so we will crank her up, see what happens. All right. Maybe. What a sweetheart. Listen to that thing purr. Much better. The old push rod of sadness is vibrating down here. You had your chance, buddy. You caused all this mess. No, that thing is a sweetheart. Listen to it. We should probably replace that ting-ting, but I'm gonna say doubtful that they have one. I guess I could order it and have it there in the morning. I might do that. I just don't like to leave stuff like that go, because sometimes people forget and it sits outside and then they end up having motor problems because of a simple rain cap. That's better, but it's not perfect. It really needs a new one so it covers it completely. But yeah. Whoa! Little backfire action. It's still going to be burning that carbon out of there for a while, I would say. I think it's idle. I think he's got his idle too low. I want it to idle about there. So we're gonna have to, boy, it's gonna be a trick to get in there, but we'll adjust on that when we're putting her back together, because if it idles too low, it'll kill it. Let's see. I think if it would idle about there, that's already. You know, that's good. All right. I have to say, I think we're going to be able to call this a win very shortly. I mean, we fixed its major issue. I really think I should probably charge the battery up for him. Hopefully it'll still hold a charge. I've been cheating this whole time, just, you know, making her go with the jump box. Well, I'll see how much footage this is, but I would say I'm probably going to leave this one here. I mean, the rest of the stuff we got to do is just, well, I got an idea of something we can do to make it another video. I'll make another video putting the finishing bolts in and whatever, and then we're going to take it out and we're going to test it. We're going to run it around here a little bit and make sure it still goes before we take it back, because there's nothing more frustrating than me taking it back thinking it's fine and then getting a call a few days later saying it doesn't run and I don't know what you did, you screwed it all up. So I don't want to get that phone call. So I would just as soon, you know what I'm saying, I'd just as soon take it out here and test it, drive it around a little bit. And I got an idea for something we could do with it that hopefully wouldn't hurt it, and we might do that. So we're gonna leave this one here, and the next one we'll finish putting her back together, and then we will give it some product testing. So until next time, friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.